Never leave your dog alone without doing this first. And no, I'm not talking about turning on the TV, tossing one random toy on the floor, or saying, "Be good, I'll be back soon," in that guilty voice we all use when we're rushing out the door. I'm talking about preparing your dog's brain before you leave. Because for us, leaving the house is normal. We grab our keys, put on our shoes, close the door, and go to work, school, the store, or dinner with friends. We understand time. We understand schedules. We know we're coming back. But your dog does not experience that moment the same way. To your dog, the sound of your keys can mean my person is leaving. Your shoes can mean something is about to change. Your coat, your bag, your phone, even the way you walk toward the door can become a warning sign. And if your dog has not learned how to feel safe when alone, that moment can trigger real stress. That's why some dogs bark for hours. Some scratch the door. Some chew furniture. Some pace from room to room. Some drool. Some have accidents indoors even though they are house-trained. And some dogs don't destroy anything at all, but they sit quietly by the door, frozen, anxious, and waiting. So before you ever leave your dog alone, especially for more than a few minutes, you need to do one thing. Create a calm, predictable alone time routine. Not just a goodbye, not just a treat, a routine. A routine tells your dog, this is safe. You know what happens next. You can relax. Your human leaves, but your human always comes back. And the science behind this is actually pretty simple. Dogs learn through association. If every time you leave, your dog feels panic, your departure becomes linked to fear. But if every time you leave, your dog gets calm exercise, a bathroom break, a safe resting area, and something rewarding to focus on, your departure can become linked to comfort instead. That shift is everything. So let's walk through what you should do before leaving your dog alone and why it matters so much. First, don't leave a fully charged dog with nothing to do. Imagine you woke up full of energy, had no phone, no books, no work, no conversation, no fresh air, and someone locked you in a room for 6 hours. You'd probably go a little crazy too. Dogs need physical movement, but they also need mental release. A bored dog is not just being bad. A bored dog is a dog whose brain is searching for something to do. And when a dog's brain has nothing healthy to do, it may invent its own activities, like chewing the corner of the couch, barking at every sound in the hallway, pulling trash out of the bin, digging at the carpet, shredding tissues like it's a personal mission. So before you leave, give your dog a chance to spend energy in a healthy way. This does not always mean a 2-hour hike. For some dogs, it might be a good walk. For others, it might be 10 minutes of sniffing in the yard, a short training session, or a gentle game of find the treat. The goal is not to exhaust your dog until they collapse. The goal is to help their nervous system settle. And here's something many owners miss. Sniffing is powerful. A walk where your dog gets to sniff is not just a bathroom break. It's mental enrichment. Your dog is reading the world through scent. Every tree, every patch of grass, every sidewalk corner is information. Sniffing lowers intensity. It gives the brain something natural to do. It can help a dog feel more satisfied before being left alone. So if you're about to leave, don't make the walk only about distance. Make it about decompression. Let your dog sniff. Let them explore. Let them check the world. Then come home with enough time for them to calm down before you walk out the door. Don't go from high excitement straight to goodbye. A dog who is still hyped up from running or playing may have a harder time settling. Give them a transition period. A calm dog is much more prepared to be alone than a dog who is still buzzing with energy. Next, always give your dog a bathroom break before you leave. This sounds obvious, but it matters. If your dog is physically uncomfortable, alone time becomes harder. A dog who needs to pee, poop, or move around may become restless. Restlessness can turn into whining, pacing, scratching, or accidents. And if your dog has an accident while you're gone, don't punish them when you come home. Dogs don't connect delayed punishment the way humans think they do. If you yell at your dog after the fact, your dog may learn that your return is scary, not that the accident was wrong. That can make anxiety worse. Instead, ask the better question. Did I set my dog up to succeed? Did they get a bathroom break? Was I gone too long? Are they stressed? Are they young, old, sick, or still learning? A lot of bad behavior is really a setup problem. Licking can be soothing for many dogs. Chewing can help release tension. Searching for food can tap into natural foraging behavior. A puzzle toy can help occupy the mind. But here's the key. Test the item while you are home first. Never give your dog a brand new chew or toy for the first time and then leave for 3 hours. You need to know if it's safe. You need to know if your dog destroys it. You need to know if they swallow pieces. You need to know if it frustrates them or actually calms them. Safety first. Also, if your dog is so anxious that they refuse food when you leave, that is important information. Many dogs with serious separation anxiety won't touch even their favorite treat once the owner is gone. That doesn't mean the treat failed. It means the dog is too stressed to eat. A relaxed dog can usually enjoy food. A panicked dog often cannot. So if your dog ignores a high-value treat when alone, don't just buy a more expensive toy and hope it fixes everything. Your dog may need gradual alone time training. And that brings us to the next point. Do not expect your dog to magically know how to be alone. Being alone is a skill. Some dogs learn it easily. Some dogs struggle. Puppies need to learn it. Rescue dogs may need to learn it. Dogs who recently moved homes may need to learn it again. Even adult dogs can develop problems if their routine changes suddenly. Think about it like teaching a child to sleep in their own room. You wouldn't just turn off the lights, leave the house, and hope they figure it out. You'd create safety. You'd build confidence. You'd make the experience predictable. Dogs need the same kind of gradual learning. Start small, very small. Maybe your dog practices staying on their bed while you step across the room. Then you return and reward calm behavior. Then you step into another room for 2 seconds. Then 5 seconds. Then 10. Then you close a door briefly. Then you open it before your dog panics. The trick is to come back before your dog hits full panic. Because if every practice session ends in barking, crying, or scratching, your dog is practicing panic. But if the session ends while they are still calm, they are practicing success. This is why gradual training works. You are not proving that your dog can survive being alone. You are teaching their brain that alone time is safe. And yes, this can feel slow, but slow is often faster in the long run. If you push too far too fast, you can make the fear stronger. If you build carefully, you create confidence. Now let's talk about the goodbye. This is where many loving dog owners accidentally make things harder. They feel guilty. They kneel down. They hug the dog. They say, "I'm so sorry, baby, I have to go. I'll be back soon. Don't be sad. Please don't cry." Their voice becomes emotional. Their body language becomes tense. They look worried. And the dog thinks, "Wait, should I be worried too?" Dogs are incredibly sensitive to our emotional state. If you act like leaving is a big, heartbreaking event, your dog may learn that it is a big, heartbreaking event. So keep departures calm. Not cold. Not mean. Just calm. You can say a simple phrase like, "I'll be back." Then give the special activity and leave without making it dramatic. Your tone should say, "This is normal," because you want alone time to feel normal. The same thing applies when you come home. If your dog is excited, it's okay to be happy to see them. Of course it is. But if your arrival becomes an explosion of screaming, jumping, and emotional intensity, the contrast between alone time and reunion becomes huge. For anxious dogs, huge emotional contrast can make the waiting harder. So when you come home, try to stay steady. Put your things down. Let your dog settle for a moment, then greet them calmly. This teaches your dog that leaving and returning are both normal parts of life. Now, some people ask, should I sneak out so my dog doesn't notice? Usually no. Sneaking out may work once or twice, but many dogs simply become more hyper-aware. They start watching you constantly because they never know when you might disappear. That can increase anxiety. Instead, create predictable cues that are not scary. For example, the special toy appears. Your dog goes to their safe spot. You say the same calm phrase. You leave. You come back. Predictability reduces uncertainty. And uncertainty is a huge part of anxiety. Now let's talk about the safe space. Before leaving your dog alone, make sure they have a place where they can actually relax. For some dogs, that's a crate. For others, it's a gated room, a playpen, a bedroom, or a cozy corner. The right choice depends on your dog. A crate should never be used as a punishment, and a dog should not be locked in a crate if they panic inside it. For a crate to help, the dog must already feel safe there. A good safe space should have comfortable bedding, water if appropriate, safe enrichment, and limited access to things your dog can destroy or swallow. It should also be away from overwhelming triggers if possible. For example, if your dog barks at every person walking past a front window, don't leave them staring out that window for 5 hours. That's not entertainment. That's stress practice. Close the curtains. Use a different room. Add white noise if outside sounds trigger barking. Make the environment easier. Your dog is not failing because they react to every noise. The environment may simply be too stimulating. A calm space helps the dog's body feel safer. And this matters because dogs don't only respond to being alone. They respond to everything happening while they're alone. Hallway sounds, delivery people, neighbors, traffic, other dogs barking, thunder, construction, strange shadows, and even reflections in windows. If your dog is already sensitive, these triggers can make alone time much harder. So before you leave, ask yourself, what will my dog experience while I'm gone? Will they hear constant noise? Will they see people passing by? Will they have access to unsafe objects? Will they be too hot, too cold, thirsty, or uncomfortable? A little preparation can prevent a lot of stress. Now, there's another science-backed idea that sounds simple but is incredibly important. Routine. Dogs feel safer when life is predictable. That doesn't mean every day must be exactly the same, but dogs benefit from patterns. Morning walk, breakfast, rest, alone time practice, afternoon walk, play, dinner, sleep. When a dog can predict what happens next, their nervous system doesn't have to stay on high alert. This is especially important for anxious dogs. Randomness can make them clingy because they don't know when you're leaving, how long you'll be gone, or what happens next. So if your dog struggles with being alone, build a consistent pre-leaving routine. Something like this: walk, bathroom break, calm down, safe space, special enrichment, calm phrase, leave. That's it. Same pattern, same feeling, same message. You are safe. I will come back. Now let's be honest. Some dogs need more than a routine. If your dog panics when you leave, hurts themselves, destroys doors, drools heavily, howls for long periods, refuses food, or shows extreme distress, that may be separation anxiety. And separation anxiety is not fixed by just letting them cry it out. In many cases, forcing a panicked dog to be alone for long periods can make the fear worse. These dogs may need a plan from a veterinarian, a veterinary behaviorist, or a qualified force-free trainer who understands separation-related behaviors. Sometimes behavior modification is enough. Sometimes medication may be part of a treatment plan. That does not mean the dog is broken. It means their fear system is overloaded and they need help. There's no shame in getting professional support. In fact, it can be the kindest thing you do. But even for dogs with milder stress, the routine matters. So let's put the whole never leave without doing this idea into one clear picture. Before you leave your dog alone, don't just walk out. Prepare them. Give them physical release through a walk or appropriate movement. Give them a chance to go to the bathroom. Give them a few minutes to settle. Place them in a safe, comfortable area. Give them a special enrichment item that they only get during alone time. Keep your goodbye calm and predictable. Leave without drama. And when you come back, return calmly too. That is the routine. That is this you should do. It may sound simple, but simple does not mean weak. Simple routines are powerful because they are repeatable. And dogs learn from repetition. Every calm departure becomes one more piece of evidence in your dog's brain that being alone is okay. Every successful return teaches, my person comes back. Every special toy teaches, alone time can bring something good. Every safe space teaches, I can rest here. Over time, your dog is not just being distracted. Your dog is building emotional resilience. And that's what we really want. We don't want a dog who is silently suffering until we return. We want a dog who can genuinely relax. A dog who can nap, chew, lick, sniff, drink water, stretch, change positions, look calm. Hear a noise and recover. Wait without panic. That is the goal. Now, if you're wondering how to tell whether your dog is actually okay when alone, use a camera if you can. You don't need anything fancy. Even a simple pet camera or an old phone setup can tell you a lot. Many owners think their dog is fine because nothing is destroyed. Then they check the camera and realize the dog spends the first hour pacing, whining, or staring at the door. Other owners worry their dog is anxious, then check and discover the dog sleeps most of the time. Information helps. Look for signs of relaxation. Lying down, resting the head, slow breathing, chewing calmly, eating normally, changing positions comfortably, and sleeping. Look for signs of distress. Pacing, whining, barking, howling, scratching at exits, heavy panting when it's not hot, drooling, trembling, refusing food, or trying to escape. Once you know what your dog is doing, you can adjust the plan. And remember, the goal is not to leave your dog alone for as long as possible. The goal is to leave them alone for a length of time they can handle. For some dogs, that might be 4 hours. For others, at least during training, it might be for minutes. Meet the dog where they are. That's not spoiling them. That's training the nervous system. One of the biggest mistakes people make is comparing dogs. My friend's dog can stay alone all day. My old dog never had this problem. This breed is supposed to be independent. None of that matters to the dog in front of you. Your dog has their own history, temperament, age, health, and emotional needs. A rescue dog who was abandoned may react differently than a puppy raised with gradual alone time training. A senior dog with hearing loss may react differently than a young adult dog. A high-energy herding breed may need different enrichment than a sleepy older companion dog. So personalize the routine. If your dog loves food, use food puzzles. If your dog loves sniffing, hide small treats around the safe area. If your dog loves chewing, use safe chews. If your dog is easily frustrated, make the activity easier. If your dog is noise sensitive, manage sound. If your dog panics in a crate, don't use the crate as the main solution until it has been properly retrained. The best routine is not the one that looks perfect online. It's the one that helps your actual dog feel safe. Now let's talk about something important. Leaving a dog alone is not cruel when the dog has been prepared for it. Dogs can learn independence. In fact, healthy independence is good for them. A dog who can relax without constant human contact has more emotional stability. They don't have to panic every time someone leaves the room. They don't have to follow you from the kitchen to the bathroom to the bedroom like their life depends on it. But independence must be taught kindly. You don't create confidence by flooding a dog with fear. You create confidence by giving them manageable experiences and letting them succeed. Small wins build trust. 2 calm minutes become 5. 5 become 10. 10 become 20. Eventually, the dog learns, I can handle this. When they learn that, life becomes easier for everyone. You feel less guilty. Your dog feels less afraid. Your home becomes calmer. Your bond becomes stronger because your dog trusts that you are not abandoning them. You are simply leaving and coming back like always. That is a huge difference. So before your next departure, try this. Don't rush. Don't panic. Don't make it emotional. Take your dog out. Let them sniff. Let them use the bathroom. Come back and let the energy settle. Set up the safe space. Give the special enrichment item. Say your calm leaving phrase. Walk out like this is normal because it is. Then come back calmly. And repeat. Not once. Not only when there's a problem. Make it a lifestyle because your dog is always learning from the patterns you create. The door closing can mean fear or it can mean rest. Your keys can mean panic or they can mean a special chew is coming. Your absence can feel like abandonment or it can feel like a predictable part of the day. That difference starts with what you do before you leave. So never leave your dog alone without preparing their body, their brain, and their environment first. A tired body helps them settle. A relieved bladder keeps them comfortable. A safe space protects them. A special enrichment activity gives them something positive to do. A calm goodbye keeps the emotional temperature low. And a predictable routine teaches the most important lesson of all. You are safe, and I always come back. That's what your dog needs. Not a dramatic goodbye. Not punishment. Not guilt. Not just a random toy thrown on the floor at the last second. They need preparation. They need confidence. They need a routine that turns alone time from a scary mystery into something familiar, manageable, and safe. And when you give them that, you're not just preventing barking, chewing, or accidents. You're building trust. You're teaching emotional security. You're helping your dog live in a human world with less fear. Because at the end of the day, your dog doesn't need to understand your schedule. They don't need to know what work means. They don't need to understand that you'll be back at 5:30. They just need enough repeated experience to believe one simple thing. When you leave, they are okay. And when you return, the world makes sense again. That is the real science-backed secret. Before you leave your dog alone, teach them how to feel safe without you. Do that, and alone time stops being a crisis. It becomes just another calm part of the day.